Hello, welcome to Taekwondo Training. I'll be your instructor for today's show, Bob Lemire. What I'd like to do on today's show is go over some basic techniques. Again, basic. I always do basic for people at home who want to train. Basic techniques for midsection. All right. I'm always saying, high section. You got to knock out the your computer, your mainframe, whatever you want to call it, and then the whole body falls down. A lot of people can't get that high, especially with kicks, or whatever situation they're in, it's not a good shot. Maybe a midsection shot or even a low section shot would be better. So we're going to go practice a couple of moves on the rib area, Solarplex, maybe the groin area, maybe even the knees, standing up and sitting down. All right, especially sitting down, if someone was coming to attack you, midsection would be the shot. Okay, all basic technique, all basic techniques. You hit someone in the Solarplex, and that's right where the ribs meet here, in your stomach here. It's very, very tender. That's why when we practice, we try to practice, especially if, let's say, we're throwing a punch. We want to practice our punches so that we pinpoint them. We're doing so many punches a week or so many punches a year. You want to pinpoint it, right? It's almost like you're throwing a dart. If you kept throwing the dart every day and punches same way, you're going to have a direction. You're going to have a focus. So it's a little practice. So if you're looking for the Solarplex, you go straight down. Whoa, you're hitting them here. Even if they're good, strong muscles for the chest and their stomach, this is a very, very weak area for everyone. And all you do is take your fingers and press and try to feel that little lump there that's in between your ribs, right? And boy, it's tender. You press hard, and it's like, whoa. You get punched, it'll knock you out. You can't breathe, all right? So that's what we call Solarplex, all right? Punches, bare finger, elbow, front snap, front round, knee, all right? We're going to go do a couple of them today. Also the ribs. Now, we have the whole rib cage, all right? Very strong, but your floating ribs down here. You have a couple of ribs that just float. They're not connected, all right? And those are at the bottom. Those break and fracture easy, all right? I've had them. Anyone in martial arts who've trained a lot of sparring, all right, over the years, and intense sparring for intense competition. Even if your pad's on, and sometimes the pad's stopped here, and you get hit on the side and break that, you don't even want to move. You're not fighting anymore until that heals. Never mind, you can't fight, it's hard to breathe, it's hard to sleep, because it just keeps moving every time you breathe. And they rarely do stuff around it. They won't patch it up, they let it heal, but boy, you're in pain for a while. So that's why when you're fighting, it's just as important to keep your ribs and your body as it is with your head. This is important. But if you're here, now you can drop your arms. That's like a block. Without moving, I'm blocking. All right? Like this. Somebody throws a front round kick, and that'd be great to break a rib, or a spin back kick. You go like this, now they're going to hit your elbow. They're going to take the hit. They're going to get the pain. The pain's going to, and believe me, everyone's done it too in Taekwondo. You hit it, you throw the best kick you could ever throw, and you hit someone's elbow or their shin or their knee, you take the brunt of it with a broken toe. All right? If things don't work out that way for you. So, very basic. Someone's attacking you, the million scenarios. Someone's attacking you, high section block. Just a high section block here. Straight midsection. Right? Especially if you're a smaller person, there's a taller person, you don't want to have to reach. Now this is your area, even if it's the groin area. All right? You're standing there, and you know there's going to be confrontation. As I always say, try not to stand in a regular stance with both feet parallel this way. You're off balance, all right? You're balanced this way, but once they want to grab you or pull you, it's hard. The minute this confrontation is going to come, just open yourself into a fighting stance. No one is going to realize it, and now you have balance, all right? And you're ready for any kind of attack, all right? I call this almost like a tripod, all right, without one of the pods, all right? It's a duopod, I'll call it. If you had a tripod, which is perfect for cameras and all that. That's a nice balance, all right? Because if you had something straight this way, right? And as I say, this is basic. We know it's basic. I just want someone who's tuning in saying, wow, what's this, Taekwondo show? Oh, I can learn some easy moves, very easy. All right, so confrontation's coming. Get yourself in the fighting stance. You don't have to come up like this at all times. Just say, you know, what, you have a problem? You're almost ready to block, right? So you can talk to someone in a non-threatening way and just say, how you doing? Well, what's going on? You everything all right? Keep your balance. They throw a punch, they come down to attack you, throw a kick. Your hands are here. You can come up, and you can keep it open with a knife hand if you want, or close it. Come up with a block, all right? See how all right? Block to the side. They want to throw a kick, all right? Block low section, all right? Your hands are here. You block, boom, right to the midsection. They're not ready for it. And we're only throwing one attack. My thing is, if you were to block and hit the midsection good, follow with something else, then go, especially if they're going down, all right? Run. Do whatever you have to do. Run, scream, get out of the harm's way. That's my goal all the time, getting out of harm's way. Not worrying, I'm a coward running away. No, you're saving your life or you're saving his life or their life. One way or another, somebody's, not going to get too hurt. It's when someone goes down and people go down on them and they kept hitting them. Now, even though you were being attacked, now you're the aggressor. If they were to die, God forbid, they're coming after you because there's enough of enough. And there's a whole law thing, and I'm not going to get into that. So 1 or 2 strikes, if they hit, then take off. All right? High section block, high section block. Look at, see how I snap it? I'm here. Look at how fast that is, right? They come down with something, all right? Or they're going to throw a punch, and then maybe a wild punch. You hear, all you do is this. I don't have to go around, boom, as the punch is going to hit here. Now they're kind of open, bang. It's an easy, fast move. If you hit high section to the face, you break the jaw or knock them out there. But we're saying midsection. Even if you had a block, they say outer forearm block, high section block. Even if you had a block and boom, go straight down to the groin area, you want to protect yourself, and that's morbid, all right. It's maybe extreme. That's the way it is. It's one shot. You're not hitting him 1,000 times. You hit him, he's going down, all right. Nothing more sensitive than a groin shot on a man, all right. So remember that, woman. If you're being attacked, front snap, punch, knee, or anywhere around the area, you say, well, what if I don't hit him? Well, what if you do? All right? And it's a straight move. He's on top of you. Oh, bam! One of these. Boy. And a front snap, they're coming in, and their front snap here. Front snap is right there. And if you have shoes on, boy, it's almost like having a hammer in your hand. The point of those shoes hitting the groin area or the Solarplex, it's powerful. It's powerful. It's a sharp, hard object, like if you took a hammer or you took the edge of a bat or you took something hard and you hit, all right? Doesn't have to be a crazy strong kick either, all right? The lightest kick here is going to do some damage, all right? You want to try to get the floating rib. Somebody's going to come down, they grab you. Say if they grab you here and you instead of trying to go for the head, they're grabbing you. If they're this way, a knife hand. Good knife hand, tighten up the fingers together, bend the middle finger and the others will fall a little, press the thumb hard against the face. It turns into a spear or a knife. We call it a spear finger or a knife hand. And now it's hard. If it's loose, if they're loose, now it's wobbly, it's not as effective. Now it's a weapon. If you hit with this muscle, all right, that's right below your baby finger, all right, that's tightening up because when you press, you're tightening that muscle. Now it's hard. That little pinpoint where you're going to hit the rib would break the rib. All right? You block, boom, or they're grabbing you. Now, as they grab you, they're wide open here. Boom. And see how I start my knife hand? I'll start it here and snap it here. And as you keep practicing, now, when you first start, you do this. Look at, there's no hip jog. All right? There's still power. Take your knife hand and hit the side of your arm or hit your leg when it's tight. And you're going to go, wow, that hurts. And you're not hitting hard. You hit hard. And if you do this, even without a hip jog, you're doing some damage. But as you learn the martial arts and you keep training, all right, boom, I snap. Look at, I'm snapping. Everything's going in a direction. Like a baseball, like a golf, almost like shooting a basketball, throwing a football. All sports want that hip to move and your whole body to follow. It's almost like a whiplash where you're generating energy. If not, you're doing this with a football. You're doing this golfing. See? Baseball, you're doing it. You can't do it. All right? And you see little kids when they first start playing baseball, they go. But then you get someone who's been playing a while, and they're stepping into it. Look at it. Boom, boom. It's the same move. All sports are intertwined. Baseball's a martial art, all right, if you want to think of it. Your body will move in flow. It wants to flow in a relaxed method, all right? Once it's loose, if it's tight, it can't flow. So if you get nervous and you're tight, you can't. Try not to be nervous. You're going to be nervous, but you just, boom, you snap. If you were in front of a mirror and you did this, see how I snap it the last time? You did this 10 times a day, 20 times a day. Right. Try to do left because, if you're not a lefty or if you're righty or lefty, use both. Try to get that yin-yang going in your body so that you're not constantly putting pressure in one direction on your back or your muscles. You want to swap it up, right? So they grab you or they're coming down. Whoa, right for the floating ribs. If you don't hit the floating ribs, hit the other ribs. It hurts. Whoa, bah. All right. So you hit them. They're coming down. They go, hit them. If they kind of let go, bah, front snap to the groin. So now it's a little combination. Or they're coming in, bah, front snap kick. They keep coming in. Now here. All right. Here. Here. All right. Here. Here. All right. Knife hand strike to the floating ribs. Knife hand strike to the floating ribs. See how I bring? Whenever I'm doing an attack, especially with my hand, I start the attack almost opposite direction of my final motion. So I don't do an elbow this way. I don't do a knife hand this way. I snap it. And that snap coincides with my hip jog. All right, so my hip jog and my snap together. My elbow and my hip jog together creates that power. All right, 50%, 100%, depending on the person, how much you train. Hip jog will create much more power and kind of accuracy too. Okay, so elbow to the midsection. You throw an elbow to the solarplex and hit, they're in trouble. All right, they're in trouble. You hit them in the chest, maybe not as much. You hit them in the stomach, depending on how tight they are. But you hit the solarplex. You can't build that up, all right? But you have to be pinpointed. Right? But this little elbow, see your elbow, the little tip of my elbow? Boy, if that gets in there at full throttle, all right, boom, you're going down, all right? And you're not going to breathe for a little while. I might have to help you stop breathing. It's going to knock the wind right out of you. You might do damage to the solarplex. Take your fingers, press your solarplex. Just press around that area. It's sensitive. You can feel it, okay? If you can feel any part of your body, you just press lightly and you feel pain, imagine something coming in hard with a lot of power to that spot, all right? And the thing is, like when you're doing an elbow, you're not doing the whole forearm. That's good. You can do the forearm, okay? Not that it's bad. But when you do the whole forearm, you open up the area that you're hitting, and it's like a slap. So instead of a knife, one spot, it's a slap, all right? You're going to get half the power. You're not even going to get anything as you would. That one little power. As you hit, all the power in your body is generated. All the energy is generated at that last second. Okay? Trusty chair, as Jack LaLanne, the older generation would understand. always worked out with a chair and a dog. I don't bring a dog, but if you're sitting down, okay? If you're sitting down and, I'm nice and relaxed and comfortable. When you're sitting down, you think there's going to be a confrontation. And you're sitting there and they're standing, or they might even be sitting. All of a sudden, make sure your hands are up a little higher this way. And I go like this. I'm just talking here, but I'm ready to block. If they're down here, that means I'm going to bring them up. You have a problem? What's your problem? You talking to me? Take your feet, and don't just have them planted in the front. All right? Now, you're in a regular chair. If you can, all different chairs, there's different scenarios. But take one foot and one leg and just kind of try to bring it back. Now you're back into your fighting stance. All right, sitting down. So you're in this fighting stance here. They're being aggressive. They want to attack you. They're coming in. They think, and the normal human being would think, well, I got the advantage because I'm higher than him. Not so all the time. Now you got to bend over. That means they're bending over to attack you. All right, unless they want to throw a kick or something. But I'm just saying the average wise guy or a big shot or someone who wants to attack you for maybe no reason or to rob you or who knows, they're going to come down. All right, they're going to come down or they're going to try to punch you or whatever. You're here. You see it coming. You see it coming. All right, I'm here. You do a block. Boom. Look at. I'm still doing a hip jog, and I'm not here. I'm here. I'm getting all my body parts ready for another attack after the original attack. Boom. All right. Boom. To the groin or to the midsection. Right. I'm still using my hip jog. All right. I've got balance. I can get up here. If you're here, again, like standing still, you're off balance. They can pull you. If you're here, look at, I'm standing right up into a fighting stance from here. And it's just dropping your leg here. People don't realize that. And you don't want to be doing this. You're talking to me? You can't, when you're out there and confrontation is going to happen, and you could, and if you sense something happening in a room, the chances are confrontation might happen. Leave the room. You don't need it, all right? Don't be a big shot. Just save yourself a lot of trouble. But it's going to happen. Eventually, sometime, you're going to be sitting down. Things are going to happen around you. Be ready. Hands up. Watch what's going around. Watch what's going around. When you have to make your move, make your move. Block. All right. Knife hand. And the floating ribs, if you can. Google floating ribs, and you're going to see a picture of ribs just at the bottom that are just, and they call them floating because they're floating. They're not connected like everything else. Most of your ribs are all connected on the side, and these things float at the bottom, which means they can snap easy, all right, to our advantage if we have to use it. So, right here, so right here, right? Knife hand to the floating ribs. And, all right, if I'm here, I can still do it, but I'm off balance. But here, I've got a little balance. This is my fighting stance. All right, little trick of the trade. All chairs aren't going to allow you to do that, but just so you understand, if you can get yourself one foot in front of the other this way. Depending on if you have arms, all right? Even if you had arms, if there were arms here, I could still try to get, and don't sit back this way, all right? Confrontation is going to come. Try to either sit up a little here so that you're ready to get up. You sit back here, you're too relaxed. So confrontation, you don't have to look conspicuous that you understand it's coming, but you do. You see it's coming. So you kind of get yourself ready. You think we should leave, and here they come. If someone's coming at you this way, don't think twice about throwing that punch. Thinking, oh, were they joking? Or if someone's attacking you, you talk about it after, I guess. I don't know. People worry about, maybe they wouldn't hurt me, but they're going to hurt you if they're coming at you. All right? So think of it. You have arms, even if you don't have arms. You come here, somebody's coming, front snap, right to the groin area, or midsection. all right? See, that's my hand, my foot's back here. I can still do it here, but if it's back here, look at, grab or grab the arms. Make sure you don't fall or back, try to keep the good balance. Here. I'm not even getting up. If he's coming like this, he's wide open, all right? Even if he's coming down like this, he's wide open. As I move, I grab. Still relaxed. Don't grab and everything's tight. Here, look at how easy it is. This is a good exercise to practice on a chair. And if you practice this every day, you'd be proficient, all right, in that front snap kick, all right? You're using almost every muscle, all right? Instead of going to the gym that day, do a couple hundred of these. Every muscle is being used. You're going to get unbelievable stomach muscles. Do this. Now, I'm not only getting a good workout, and when you first started, do a couple. If you do 100 each side the first day, you're not going to walk the next day. Every muscle in your body is going to be sore. When you start very slow. Don't go crazy trying to do it fast, all right? And you practice. When you do this, my stomach muscles are as tight as they can be. Notice I chamber, and I call this a chamber, all right? I don't just swing up you got to bring the leg up as high as you can, snap it out, bring it back. See my feet? My toes are pointing, especially if I have sneakers or shoes, hard shoes. You're getting into those vital areas. They're going to hurt, all right? And while you're practicing it, you're getting into great shape. As I do this, even if I do it slow, I can feel the muscles through my whole body. My arms, the back of my arms, the front of my arms, my chest, my back, all down the lower back. My muscles in my legs are tightening up. What a workout. Everything's working out, and you're learning how to throw that front snap kick. Basic as it can be. You want to practice a front round kick, a little more difficult. If you have a chair like this or a folding chair can, you can fall off that chair. And a lot of times, people not used to it, and they fall off the chair, and then they break their wrist. Again, I'm safety. I want safety. If I'm going to show you something, there's a million scenarios how you can get hurt. If you're practicing with friends, say, you come at me, as children, make sure that you go slow and keep your distance. Maybe have a pad. If they have a nice big pad, those aren't hard to find. You can order them anywhere. And it's fun to hit pads, and now you're even getting the accuracy more. I'm talking a nice big pad like that. They're coming in at you, and you're hitting that pad, and you're getting back. Try those. 10 the first day, every day for the first week, then build it up to 20 each side. Watch how you feel. And actually, even the first day with 10, you're going to feel muscles like, wow, why am I sore? Every muscle. I'm feeling every muscle when I do that. And I'm getting accuracy, all right? So you're here. Now you relax. You're sitting there, you relax. You see something happening. You get yourself, all right? You're not making any, no one knows what you're doing. You see yourself getting a little nervous. Hands come up, look around. They're coming. Here they come. Or here comes the guy or whoever. All right? Knife hand, elbow. If he has grabbed you by the neck, now you're sitting here and he's got you by the neck. All right? Maybe trying to choke you. All right? Right to the groin area because he's like this. When I call him a dummy. When a dummy grabs you like this, all right, and have any idea what you're doing, if you have any idea of martial arts, you're going to take his midsection and his low section right out. All right? And you could go for the high section, but he's wide open. Look at, now all of a sudden, a couple of good shots into vital areas with your feet, your knees, your elbows, your knife hand, into certain areas, as I say, where I'm calling the Solarplex, the floating ribs, any part of the ribs, floating ribs, groin area, or the knees. All right? Same thing from here if you want, and you want to stamp down on a knee. Somebody's coming, all right? Stamp, front snap to the knee, all right? When you're hitting the knee, you want to have it as wide and long as you can to get that, because it don't take much power to destroy that knee. It doesn't take much power at all. If you get the knee on an angle, you're going to snap. He's going down. It doesn't take much pressure. And it's, as I say, it's extreme. But extreme measures call for extreme measures, and you do what you have to do to keep yourself safe. Worry about the problem after. Why? Oh, he wasn't coming at you. He was coming after you, all right, or she. All right. So and I just scratched the surface on sitting down or any midsection. All basic. What I showed you today is all basic. Think about it. Google vulnerable points. That's a great thing. As I talk to you about any of this, and you have your phone in your hand, you Google vulnerable spots to the midsection, vulnerable spots of the body, all right? Vulnerable or weak spots of the body for martial artists, anything you want to call it. They're gonna pinpoint. Then you just use that. You remember where it is. You use that thought process, and that's where you're going to practice. All right. And as I say, sitting in a chair and doing any kind of exercises, as Jack LaLanne would tell you, you got to get up and you got to get down, and all of a sudden you're using all body parts. And that's what we want to do. We're trying to work out, get in great shape, get those stomach muscles in great shape, and in the same time, learning a martial art or learning how to self-defense, how to protect yourself. All right. I do hope you enjoyed this show. DrakeItTV.org. It's on all the time. You can find this on YouTube. Taekwondo Grandmaster Bob Lemire. You'll see all the old shows, So anytime you want to watch these shows or any past shows, and there's a lot of them, all basic, you can do a whole workout and you can teach your children or learn martial arts yourself. Okay? And what you want to do, especially if you're going to be doing chair exercise, or stretch 10, 15 minutes lightly, all right, before you work out. When you're done working out, loosen up a little for about 5, 10 minutes. Try to get a good stretch. So your muscles are going to be tight, but they need to relax, all right? And by doing stretches, it's going to alleviate a lot of pain the next day with your muscles, all right? Because the stretching gets all the juices flowing in your body and helps relieve, especially when you want to tighten up and get lactic acid. Runners get that a lot. Like, you got to stretch. And by stretching, the muscles start giving off all kinds of endorphin, whatever they are. I'm not a doctor. I hope you enjoyed the show. Till next time, have fun and train hard.